Alright guys, we're back in the car for another video, and today we're actually going to be taking a look at the hidden menu on my BMW 340i. I posted up a couple screenshots from my car because I was trying to figure out a separate fuel tank issue, and so I accessed the hidden menu to see the actual readings from my fuel tank, and a couple people messaged me, how did I access that? Are they able to see that on their cars? And I just kind of realized I'd never made a video on it myself. A lot of the OGs, I'm sure, are already aware that this is a thing because they've been doing this in BMWs for over a decade. But this is something that you can easily access yourself to see a lot of cool data and just diagnostics and things like that. This is how you set up your car to go on a dyno. So just a lot of useful features in here for the enthusiasts. So I'll show you guys how to access it on my car. This is a 2016 340i. Again, I've got like the 6WA extended cluster, but even if you have the small cluster, you can see it. On the 6WB cluster, like full digital display, my 440i, you can see it. If you've got a G series car, a Supra, basically all of them have access to this menu. It just might look a little different, or especially if you have a full digital cluster, you can see more information and it just looks nicer to go through it. But the way to access it is the same. I'll go through it on my car. We'll go through the different settings. I highly suggest you guys try this out yourself to see what options are available for you. And yeah, hopefully this helps you out. Find a nice little free mod that makes your vehicle a little more useful and easier to access some data. Now, as always, for everybody that's new to the channel, I create these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments in our community, as well as discuss technical topics so that we have a better understanding of how our engines work. So if you're interested in more videos like that, be sure to subscribe because there will be a lot more coming out in the future. Alright, so we are ready to access the hidden menu here. I put the car into accessory mode. You can also do this while the actual engine is running. Either way, as long as your car is on the battery power, then you can actually access this menu. So down here, we're going to press the trip reset button, hold it. You might see the maintenance interval reset options pop up. Just keep holding it. And then you will actually access this menu. And just, let's make this a little easier to see. All right, so there are a couple options off the bat that you have access to. If you press trip reset, it kind of flips through the options, but you can see it's pretty limited. So what you want to do is go to this unlock option, long press, and then you're going to need to put in your car's code. Now this code is the last 5 digits of your VIN. It's the sum of those numbers. So if the last 5 digits of your car are 55555, then you add all those up, it's going to be 25. So in my car, the last 5 digits are 77214. So you add all those up and you get
21.
So I'm going to put 21 in here. I just keep pushing the trip reset button until it counts up. Then long press, and it has unlocked these extra options. So now that we've got access to the deeper menus, let's take a look at a couple of the different options that I use personally. So the first one, identification, it just gives you a little bit of information about the car. I believe this is like your wheel speed, or it converts like your wheel rotations to a distance. So, this is kind of like what it does to calculate how many miles your car is driving. Somebody, I'm sure, will correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. This is software ID information, your VIN, HMI version. So yeah, some basic information. We'll long press to go back. Go to the next option. So this is something that I've actually never used before, but I do know what it does. It basically makes the whole LCD do like a test of all the lights. So let's go ahead and try it for the first time. Yay, very thrilling. I feel much more complete now. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a party trick. Some people think that it's cool, so that's always something you can try. Long press to go back. Now start roller mode. So if you long press this, it actually asks you if you want to put the car into roller mode. Roller mode is another name for dyno mode. So if you're putting your car on a dyno, this is the easiest way to make sure that your car won't go into limp mode or anything like that. I've had mixed success getting on a dyno without this. What I've noticed is if my hood is open, then I usually need dyno mode. If my hood is closed and I just have like a really good fan in front of the car, then typically I can drive it without dyno mode enabled. So just kind of depends on your setup. Usually I like dynoing the car with the hood open for better cooling. So I put it in dyno mode like it shows, DSC off, and then just press the trip reset button again and it'll put it in dyno mode so it doesn't go into limp. So we'll long press to go back. Test and this actually takes you out of the hidden menu. So if you're doing this while you're driving or while the car is on, you get the information you want to turn it back off, just go to the number 4 option and long press and it will turn off the hidden menu. Unlock is how we got here. Now these next couple ones show more details about like your fuel consumption and your fuel tank. This is something I use a lot, especially when I'm trying to calculate an ethanol mix. So for consumption, I believe this is like overall readings maybe, but if you long press this, it gives you a couple readings. So 15.6 liters per 100 kilometers, and currently 0 since the car is off. And then long press to go back. Now range, I believe, is like the reference for this specific tank or how much I've averaged since the last time I filled up. So it's showing 9.3 liters per 100 kilometers, and I'm estimated 195 kilometers before I need to fill up again. All right, long press again. Now the tank, this is the one that I use all the time for calculating ethanol content. Also where I think I might have an issue with my car. So first it shows like a resistance reading from the left side and right side fuel level sensors. I'm assuming one of these are off because I just filled up the car. I put about 15 miles on it since I filled up, and it's already showing that the fuel level is low. So something's going on there, but these were like the screenshots and some pictures related to this I was posting up and people were asking about it. So yeah, resistance on the left level sensor, the right level sensor. Then this is how much it thinks is in the left side of my tank. And this is how much it thinks is in the right side of my tank. So hopefully that's not the case, because that would be a big problem. And then this is the actual total that the car is measuring. So the left tank and the right tank put together basically is what this number should be. And then this is the display value. The display value is always pessimistic. So if it thinks it has, it's showing 18.6 liters, it's going to display 18.3 and do all of the fuel estimates based off of that. So hopefully this will show 0 before the fuel tank actually hits 0 and gives you the best chance to make sure you get to a gas station in time. So this one is deliberately going to be lower than the actual, so you are under the impression that you have at least the amount of fuel that's in the tank or less, not more where you could potentially think you have fuel and then run out of gas while you're driving. And then the tank phase, so basically which tank it's pulling from, and then back to the beginning. Temperature, also I know some people use this, especially like in some 2 Series cars that don't have a temp gauge. This can give you access to those readings, so it shows some diagnostics about the sensor itself, and then this is your coolant temp, and this is your oil temp. So again, you can flip through those in your own car to see what options you have available. Couple other ones, Speedo and Rev. I think this calculates like the actual, well, this one shows the actual digital reading of your speed. So if you want a digital number, it can show that. And then it also shows your cruise control, your RPM. So it basically gives you a digital readout of everything on the dash. System voltage shows the voltage of your battery. Acoustics, I did this earlier. It does a bunch of beeps. I can't really remember how long it took, but it seemed like it took forever, so I'm not going to do that again. But it just tests all the different sounds and beeps that the cluster makes. DTC, I believe this shows codes. I don't have any right now, so it's not showing anything, thankfully. Dimming LCD, PWM, those are other details about the cluster and its readings. Again, there are a lot of different features here. This one is the one I was thinking of. This biases your range. So if your car is saying that you're losing gas quicker than you are, or it's too optimistic and you're losing gas faster than it thinks you are, you can adjust it here. I'm not planning on messing with it yet. I still have some more diagnostics to figure out what's going on with my fuel readings, but this is something you can do if you think you just need like a slight plus or minus 5%, 10%, whatever, against what the car is doing. And yeah, so lots of different options here. Again, I highly recommend you check it out yourself on your car. This is something that's available on pretty much all BMWs, and you can go into there and see a lot of readings. Super easy to access, and you can basically get your car to show the data that it knows but doesn't display normally. So hopefully you guys found this video useful. Thank you again to everybody that's watching. I hope this video helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.